Alright, another update here.
Update, go under the car and get wrench.
You gotta take all your what you call them, exhaust shields off the back. Hope you can see those, but there's one there, and then we already took this one off. Just got them 10 millimeter bolts on them, and you get all them off, and then you can take your exhaust off, and you got these studs right here. Might want to hit them with some PB blaster, let them soak a while, and when we get that done, we'll update you again. One more thing, you gotta take that crossover pipe there loose by taking them bolts, them nuts loose right there, on there, and right there. So
we got a deep well 13.
Gotta get that done. Ain't one there? Yeah, right there. We have one.
No, there's a 14. It's a little bit big.
When we get done with that, we'll be back.
Yes, sir.
Alright, we got the crossover exhaust pipe here took out. We got these loosened on the exhaust manifold. We got all the head bolts loose. Here, and here, and there, and there, and there. And we're just finishing getting those out. And we'll do the same thing on the other head. And that's it right now. We'll be back. We never did have to take the water pump off, so you don't have to take that off. Give me some tea too. Alright, I'm just going to show you. We got the heads off, one head off, and I'm just going to show you what it looks like. You can see this piston here has got some water in it. So that's where the leak was. It was leaking from this water jacket over into, or one of these water jackets, into the piston, and that was causing it to run hot. So then I'll show you the head. Here's the head right here. As you can see, you can tell she's been getting hot because all the exhaust valves are real chalky looking, and the spark plugs are real chalky. That tells you, it's getting too hot. And then the head gasket right there got a little bit dirty, but you can see it's in pretty bad shape. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. And the head, and you'll probably have some bolts break off like we did on the exhaust manifold. There's two that were already broke off because somebody's already done this job one time, and it's been leaking. So got to get those bolts, broke off bolts out, and that's it. We'll be back with an update, but then I'll show you what's next. Got to get those Okay, so we got the heads off and got Got them cleaned up a little bit. You can see the. And now what we're gonna do is take both heads and get them. Get them resurfaced out. This whole surface has got to be resurfaced. Make sure it's level and not warped or nothing. And you can see where it got hot. See the valve how they turned chalky looking?
Mm-hmm.
You know it was running hot. It looked like that. That's about it. When we get all that done, get the heads resurfaced, and we actually got to get a plenum too, because we just found a crack right here when we was cleaning it. So I got to get a plenum for it. And when we get all that done, we'll clean up all these parts real good.
And back together.
And we'll be back with a update when we start putting it back together. Alright, so we back again, and I just wanted to show everything that we've got done since the last time. So as you can see, had the heads resurfaced right here, and you definitely want to do that right there, because if there's any warp in it or any imperfections in it anywhere, it's just going to leak. So I always get this done, and it's perfectly flat now, and no warpage anywhere. And so I wanted to show you that. And the next thing I will show you the way I do because we fixing to start putting it all back together now. So I wanted to show you what I do. So you resurface the heads. You also need to do the block. You can't resurface the block, but you can come there, and you need to clean the surface as good as possible. And you can use a razor blade, but you got to be careful not to gouge it with the razor blade. I'm going to use a wire brush and clean mine, but you got to be real careful. And it doesn't take much. I mean, it's not that bad. It's just mostly dirty, but going to do that. And the other thing is, done cleaned out the water reservoir tank, the plastic tank. I'm also going to clean out the radiator. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to drain the radiator out and fill it up with I'm going to use white vinegar and water mixed, and just kind of mix it like 4 to 1 or something close to that, and let it sit in the radiator until you get the motor back together. And that should be plenty of time for it to clean the radiator out, and that vinegar will clean it out good. Then just drain it out and wash it out good with water, with a garden hose. Just keep washing it out till you sure all the vinegar's out of it. Other than that, just going to start cleaning this block here, the deck of the block there, and get that done. We'll start putting the heads back on it, and when I get to that, I'll give you an update. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, we back. we're putting the back head on first, and it's a little tricky because you gotta line it up with the exhaust manifold first, and then set the head down on this surface of the block, and align it with the locating dowels. There's two, one on each end that you have to set the head on. And we're gonna get that on. We're running the bolts down, and then we're gonna torque them. You want to torque your bolts to 65 foot-pounds, and not all at once. Just kind of go like 20, 40, and then the last one 65. And start in the center bolts and work your way out to the ends in a crisscross. That way, that's the best way to do it. And put your exhaust manifold nuts back on, or tighten those up. And then same thing with the front head. And when we get there, we'll be back. That's the only thing I can think of to tell them. Just make sure you clean your piston holes out good. Take and put a wrench on your crank pulley there, and turn your motor over, and keep cleaning the cylinders out and the top of the pistons with a clean rag, clean shop towel like this, and make sure the surface is clean. The block surface there where the head goes on is nice and clean.
You want to go ahead and bolt the
Make sure, huh?
Go ahead and bolt the manifold on there.
Oh no, let me torque them down first. But that's it. As far as your head gasket goes, just make sure you, the numbers on the head gasket are up. That's the way your head gasket goes. With the numbers and the stamps, you can make sure they facing up where you can read them, and then put your head gasket on and in your head, and line the locating dowels up. That's it for now. We'll be back. Alright, we back, and got both heads on, as you can see. Got the rocker arms and the push rods back in. Make sure you put them back in the same hole they came out of. Rocker arms back on the same spot they come from. Before you put your intake on, make sure you run your silicone bead here and put plenty in the corners, right through here. Put them in the, and I like to let mine get a little, give it a few minutes to get a little hard, so it don't squeeze all out. But then tighten your rocker arms down, and torque your head bolts down to 65 foot-pounds. I think I done told you all that. Get your exhaust manifolds on, get your cross pipe on, and then you can put your intake on. That's about it. Make sure you put your new gaskets on, intake gaskets.
This went down in there, and this was in there with it.
When we get in a little further, we'll be back with an update. I don't know if I told y'all, but clean the radiator out with what we use, white vinegar mixed with water, about half and half or something like that. Will work. Let it soak in the radiator for a few hours. And that's it. We'll be back.